Hi, I'm Ina Calder with the InDe'B Quilt Shop, and I'm here to talk to you today about this quilt behind me, which is Daisy a Day by Beverly McCullough from Flamingo Toes. Okay, cute quilt, just really fun. It has three different kinds of blocks. There is this block that has a full center. There's one that has a 16 patch center, and then there's the cute bees in all of her fun, just color line a fabric that she has out here, which is her, can't remember if this is Daisy, is it Daisy Fields is the name of this pattern, this quilt line, fabric line that she has here. I'm trying to remember all of those things. Okay, so Beverly actually has some YouTube videos that shows you how to make these three blocks. And even myself, after kind of watching those and then sitting down with her pattern to do that, I thought I would share some other tips with you that I thought would be helpful as you go through this. First of all, the first direction she's going to give you is for doing the block with the big center, okay? It is directions for how to do one block, and then she tells you to make 9 of those. This one tells you how to do this for one block and to make 6 of these. And then she shows you directions for how to do the bees, and then you make 15 of the bees, okay? Well, when I looked at the front, and then I looked back at this, and then back and forth, and I'm like, there's not enough fabric to do it the same colorway or the same exact what's here. What you really need to do is pick what centers you want for these big blocks. I mostly did the bigger patterned ones, all over patterns, and or small like print of these. So if you look at it they're all in those colors, okay, those print ones. I saved the smaller prints for like the leaves, the bees, the outside for those. So I picked which ones I wanted to do for those 9 and set those fat quarters aside. And then some of them I actually used for the outsides also. And some of them I didn't, okay? So I just kind of had to figure that out. And then I figured out how much I needed for like the bees to do the bees, and which patterns and colors I wanted to use for all of those bees. And so then I kind of set that aside and kind of cut, okay? There's extra fabric at the end. So if you didn't quite figure out exactly what you wanted to do or how you wanted to put which one with which, you can always make some changes. There's enough to kind of make some of those changes, okay? So the one thing that helped me the most was to figure out what I wanted for the centers, then figure out what I wanted for these. And I cut these, I put them together, okay? And then what was left over, I set aside to use later, maybe for the bees or for another flower, or, cut out some of the 2.5 inch squares that you use all through the quilt, okay? Because you need quite a few of those. So I figured out how much I needed. I did that, so I cut out for my 9, okay? And then I did the same for the outsides of the other flowers that have the 16 patch center. And then I figured out the bees. I cut all the centers for those. And then I cut out the wings on all of these. I figured out which fabrics I wanted to use for the wings. And then I cut enough fabric to fit everywhere for the wings. And then I went and cut all the background. So I saved that for last, so I could put everything together and put it all together. And once I got sewing, it went together really fast, and it was just really a lot of fun. Okay, so let me show you this. So the bee, for the big flower, you're going to start with your center here, and then you're going to snowball the corners. So you're going to take one of these, and I found that it was really helpful to draw a line. And I want to share a tool with you that we have in our shop that I think is fabulous for that, okay? This is a Soul Line chalk pencil, and it has 3 colors in it. And so like this is the first one. Can you see that? That teeny tiny little white. When I mix to the next one, it is a charcoal color, okay? I don't know if you can see that charcoal color as well. And then the last one is pink. Let's see if you can, there you go. Maybe you can see that pink. It's in there. And we also will have refills also in our shop for these colors coming soon. Because we found out there's sometimes you use the pink up faster whatever you're doing. What I like about this pen is that if I'm doing a darker color, I have the white to make my line and I can see it. And it's so thin. It is as thin as a regular pencil. Let me let me push this out a little farther. That's the thing too, is that to push it out, you just keep going like this. Okay, can you see how thin that is? It is just super thin. It's like, it's not much bigger than a thick pencil lead. Okay. And you can use that one. So the white is really great on darker fabrics. Then you've got the charcoal that's really good on lighter colors. But maybe that pink is a good color too, because it will show up on some different fabrics. And if you're also sewing, if you have a laser on your machine and you're sewing from corner to corner with laser, don't use the pink. Because my laser is a pink laser and you can't see the pink line. So just keep that in consideration when you do that. But I absolutely love this pen. Wish that I'd found this so much earlier. It is so much easier to use than any other chalk method I have out of there. Hands down, would use this one. So that is the Soline Tri-Color Chalk Pencil. Okay, and you can see it down below. Will be there. Okay, so here we have this. So you're going to snowball that so that you have all your corners snowballed. Okay, and then you need to make these up here, and you're going to attach one at one side, one at the other. They're very easy to make. All it is doing a rectangle, and on it you have two whites. Again, you can draw that line, snowball them from one side to the other, and it's really great. It's really fast and easy. You have a space down here, so it's not like making a flying geese, and it gives you those chunky, leaves that you have. Then the other two, you're going to make them, but you're also going to attach two squares to them, and the squares are all different colors. You want them to contrast with what you're doing with the petal here, and I didn't want it to be necessarily the same color as I wanted the colors to go with whatever was in the flower. And obviously it kind of matters, but it doesn't. As you can see here, you can see that there's whatever you choose is going to look really good. So there's not any perfect way to do it. Just pick what looks good to you, and that will be it will work well for you. Okay, so that's how you do the flower. The 16 patch, you're going to make the 16 patches, and then you're going to do the same thing to the outside of it. Okay, now the 16 patches, I have a really great idea I want to share with you from watching Jonna Jordan Quilts. Okay, and I don't have a ton of these, but I'm going to just show you as if I were doing a 4 patch. Okay, and what I do when I'm doing this many of them, I take, and then this way you would have 4 here and 4, 4 cross 4 down for that. I'd lay them all up. I would put them in whatever order you want so that they aren't like, 2 blues right together or whatever. I take the line and take the second one. I put it over the top of the first one, all the way down. And then I take the first one, I put it on top of this, on top of this, on top of this. And then when I put it in my machine, I'm able to just go down and stitch through here. I can immediately put this one through and stitch through there. When I'm done with all of them, they're still chained piece together. I just open it up, and I would take the 3rd row, and I would just pick up everything in the 3rd row, starting at the beginning to the end. And then I just flip it over on this one, so all the way down, and do the same thing with the 4th row. Then I'm going to iron all of these this direction and all of these that direction. And then that's really easy to put them together and nest them together and make sure everything matches up. So that's a really easy way to do your 4 patch. Not 4 patch, but your 16 patch. Makes it a lot faster to do than, for me, than to try to sew one whole row together and then sew whole the next row and whatever. It's really easy to do it this way. Okay. Now let's talk about your bees. Your bees, we're going to start with the bee body. So what I would do with the bee body is I would sew together, it's a bigger one. These 2 are the same size, and then a smaller one. Okay, and so what I did is I just laid them all out and just kind of randomly put them together as long as I had different colors and different patterns going on. There are so many of these to choose from that it doesn't really matter as long as you don't have like the same pattern together or whatever. And don't worry about this one. See, this is your directional fabric. you take so much of it off because we're going to snowball that in a corner that you're not really going to see. You're not going to really notice that one as much. So don't worry about it, about whether or not they are. You can kind of do that, but you know. So I did all my bodies together, okay? I did not do the top part yet. I did all the bodies. I snowballed all the bottoms, okay? So that those were all done, okay? Then I did the bee head part of it. And I put the head part together, which is just this square. It's snowballed, little snowballs in the corner. And then you attach 2 other pieces on the sides. Okay, so I did that. I did all of them all together at the same time. And then I took and I grabbed the wings set that would go with whatever bee I was working with. And I would use that to snowball the corner here, the same wings there. I also snowballed this corner here so that those were all done. Okay, so we're just going to leave those like that to there. And then I would put the wings together. Okay, the wings are just a big rectangle here. You have a bigger white rectangle and a little bit smaller one. Again, you're just going to snowball them. Another way that people have used this is called a stitch and flip. So you can stitch and flip or snowball. Okay, I first learned snowball, so that's my go-to. And then you're going to attach these smaller pieces on top here. Okay, and you have these bigger ones here on the bottom of the squares. And then at the top and the bottom are going to be, here, let's pull this down a little bit. So that I can put these all on, and you have these 2 big white long strips here that go at the top and also on the bottom. What's really nice about these strips too is that there's not a whole lot, once you've like sewn that all together, when you're sewing all these blocks together, you have a solid line matching with the solid line with the solid line, and you only have to worry about these right here on the other. So it makes it sewing it together really simple and fast and easy. Okay, so I'd like to, you know, putting these into groups, doing like all the bees at one time, doing all the big flowers at one time, doing all the 16 patch flowers all at the same time. So it made it go really fast and go together. I just love the flower. I love the color first that she has picked for this. Just a wide variety of color, and yet it's just a very pleasing, pleasant quilt, you know, to make. You can find the kit on our website. You can find, don't forget your backings, because you get in the kit, you get everything for the front, including the binding, but you want to get your backing. And we have, for the backing, we have this blue and this mint over here. And you need 5.5 yards for your backing. We have several of those on there. So I hope that you enjoyed this. Maybe this will be a wonderful Christmas gift for someone who loves to quilt, or maybe for a granddaughter on her bed. It is 79 by 93, so it is definitely a twin size quilt. But I also thought it would be really fun to do like a table runner, just like this, or just with only these flowers, or, you know, alternating these flowers with these flowers. So many things you could do. You can even just do even bees and have the bees face opposite directions. So many different things you can do, even making a pillow out of one of these. They're 12.5-inch blocks. And so you could make a fun pillow. You could even put another border around that beyond, you know, just like you have here with like this part here to here to here is an actual 12-inch block. But if you added another, you know, out here, you're going to end up with more like a 16-inch block. So really fun pillows that you could make and really brighten someone's home or couch or chair, whatever was there. Okay, don't forget to like this video. That helps us also to bring you more content. Don't forget to subscribe so that you get notifications every time we post a new video. And don't forget to click the bell and click on all the notifications. Thank you so much. We're so glad that you could join us today, and we hope you enjoy the Daisy a Day quilt by Beverly McCullough of Flamingo Toes.